Hey everybody, it's Friday. I don't know about you, but I'm super excited. Although I just realized I am talking to a group of people in retail, so Friday actually means it's probably your Monday, or at least you're getting started for another busy weekend before the holiday season. I know even though holiday's not here, it's kind of already crazy out there. I went to the mall last Friday. I was still getting busy, and you're getting prepped, and you're most likely coming up to your holiday floor sets and things like that, or maybe you're doing it this weekend, which is perfect if you saw yesterday's video. So we're gonna actually get on, and I'm gonna talk about busy weekends. I'm going to be talking a lot about like Black Friday focus, but it's also going to pertain to most of the weekends that follow Black Friday too. So even though I may say Black Friday weekend, I mean any weekend after that. If you've worked retail before, you know that pretty much after that weekend, everything isn't as crazy, but it's still pretty crazy. And one of the things I actually will touch on in the email today is Christmas falls, I didn't write it down, I think it's like if Christmas falls on a Tuesday through Thursday, which I believe it runs, I want to say it's Wednesday this year, don't let me do that, you always get a very intense weekend before. So if it's Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, the previous weekend is unreal. If it's a Sunday, that Saturday you're gonna just want to crawl in a ball. Luckily it's not a Sunday this week, I do remember that, but it is going to be very intense because Christmas does fall in the beginning of the week. So all those last minute shoppers, they're really gonna go crazy that last weekend. So really this information is gonna definitely pertain to Black Friday, but also pertain to the week before Christmas and all the weekends in between too, because they're all equally crazy. Especially because this year, and again, don't hold me to the exact date, but I believe Hanukkah is towards the beginning of December. So you're going to get a really big rush right before that time of year too, depending on the different communities that you live in and the different ethnicities and backgrounds that are in those areas. You get all different types of traffic, but I know when I was always in retail, I used to keep track of Hanukkah too, because that would definitely change my traffic flow every year as well. But I'm pretty sure it's like right in the beginning of December this year. But without any further hesitation, let's talk about some tips. I'm going to go over some tips first, and then I'm probably going to have to jump back on and go over products because I'm in the middle of a bunch of things, so we're going to split it up today. But today, I want to talk about some tips. So how can you get yourself prepared for the Black Friday weekend, any busy weekend? And one of the best things that I can tell you, and you are going to kick yourself if you don't do, is get to work early. Even if you're someone that always gets to work early, get there earlier. When it comes to Black Friday, plan to get to work, actually pull into the parking lot a half hour before you normally would. Why I say that? It's going to take you a good half hour to, one, either find somewhere to park, and two, once you find that parking spot that's actually like 3 blocks from the building, to actually walk in. And 3, if it's snowing or cold, you're just going to be miserable. So plan ahead. No joke, guys. Get to work a half hour early. I cannot stress this. It is one of the hardest things. It was one of the hardest things for me when I was in retail, because if you know me, I'm not always punctual. So it will benefit you so much. You're going to be so stressed when you pull in and you see that there's absolutely no parking spots. If you're the opener, so depending on your store, and I know this is a whole controversial topic, so I'm not even going to go there. If you open your store at midnight, you're most likely going to be there. I know I used to always schedule my staff to come in at 11 p.m., but I would try to get there by like 10 p.m. because if I got there by 10, parked, got in the store, I might actually be ready for everybody that got there at 11. So it's just one of those things to really think ahead. In all those other videos that I talked about, plan, think ahead. So if you're the opener and no other stores are open and you're like the first shift, you're gonna have a little more wiggle room with that half hour. If you're someone that and this is just all an example, guys, but again, just think about what you're doing. If you're someone that's coming in the middle of the day, so say you're working an 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. shift, that's usually kind of a mid shift, oddly enough, in retail, you're going to want to probably allot even more time and patience when it comes to that, because you're going to have all of the shoppers, all of the current employees that are in the mall, and all of the new employees coming in for the next shift too. So you're going to have so much traffic. So by the time you get there, because traffic in general is going to be crazy with the holidays, by the time you drive to the location, park your car, walk into the building, if you're in a mall, I feel for you. It's going to take you extra time to walk through the mall because it's like herds of cattle in there. And then by the time you herd through all the people in your store to get to the back room or get to the register to log in, it's going to take a lot of time. So my very long explanation and trying to draw the picture for you, you need to get there early. Another thing, I already talked about this yesterday, so I'm not going to talk about it a lot because it kind of goes hand in hand. Take your breaks. I cannot stress this enough. You are legally obligated that you are allowed to take your breaks. Take them. You are going to get burnout. It is so hard, and I don't care if you're just a line lead. If you're a line lead, you're on the register, if you're a bagger, or you're a greeter, you're going to get tired. It's so repetitive on Black Friday weekend especially. You're most likely going to do the same thing for an extended amount of time. I know depending on the staff member, a lot of times I would do, one person would be one thing for the full 8 hours. Sometimes they would do one thing for 4 hours. But usually I try to keep people in the same place for the majority of their shift. Because of this, it gets really tiring. I mean, you're like, yeah, I get to stand at the register. I don't have to walk around. Yeah, it gets pretty bad after about 3.5 hours, and you're like, oh my God. So just keep that in mind. You're gonna want those breaks. Stay on top of them. Don't bug your manager about them, because there's nothing more annoying for a manager when you're like, can I go on my break yet? Can I go on my break yet? One of the great things to do, if you're concerned about your break, or you kind of want to plan ahead and just keep it in mind, yeah, I got the Conan thing going on, find out your break in the beginning. Most managers will have that planned ahead of time. I know with mine, I had this beautiful, epic graph sheet that I kept, and I had everything planned. This person goes on their 15-minute break at this time, this person steps in for them, and so on and so forth. So if you're one of those people, and I used to have those people that were like, hi, I'm here for my shift, what time's my break? If you're one of those people, find out your break in the beginning of the shift, and just that way you kind of have a heads up. To go along with that though, and I don't think I even said this yesterday, don't just leave on your break, okay? Things happen, stuff comes up. You can't always just go on your break. So one of the things that I always suggest is if it's time for your break and your manager hasn't said, hey, it's time for your break, you can go, just ask them. They're most likely lost track of time. They're caught up in a lot of things. Be like, hey, Vanessa, like, it's 4:15. Is it okay if I go on my break now? Just be nice about it. There's a lot of times where I got distracted and I was doing things or helping customers and whatnot, and I may have lost track of time. But if I got to the point where I looked up and my register was empty and it may have been that person's break, that's super frustrating. So don't just leave on your break. There's so much going on. The manager needs to know where you are at all times. So I cannot suggest that enough.
Scene change. Told you guys some point I would have to change the scenery, and although I thought I would still be in my car, I am not. Because if I didn't mention it already, which I think I have, I will mention it again, daylight savings time is the worst. And it was pitch black by the time I got out of my appointment. So, you got me here. So anyways, we were talking about breaks, not leaving on your breaks. Well, not just randomly leaving on your breaks, but keeping track of them because they are important to have. And you want to make sure that you're in an environment that fosters that and make sure that you get them because they're so, so important to getting through your day. But I think that was really about it for the breaks. Some of the other things I wanted to talk about was making sure that you're comfortable, guys. That doesn't mean coming to work like you would if you were at floor set. Obviously, floor set's a little different, and you can wear your sweats or whatever you want to wear. It really doesn't matter. But even when you're working Black Friday or a busy weekend, you want to look cute. I get it. I totally understand. I used to have an employee. I don't know how she did it. She was always dressed perfectly, would have like heels on, and I'm like, girl, no, absolutely not. You're lucky you're getting me out of my sneakers right now. But know your dress code and try to stay within those limits, but also comfortable too. So I know like when it was always like Black Friday weekend, or even any weekend really, that you're going to be working at least like a 6-8 hour shift, just make sure you're comfortable. So I would try to wear comfortable shoes. I swore by Tom's when I was in retail. I lived for them. And then just comfortable like jeans or pants and a shirt that's comfortable, and also versatile too. So I think that's another key thing. You never really know the temperature that's going to be inside your store. So maybe your store is typically really cold, but during Black Friday, really? But during Black Friday weekend, there's going to be more bodies. They're going to be moving. There's going to be so much energy around the area. You're going to be moving faster than you normally do, most likely. So it's really good to think of that in layers. I used to always wear layers too, so that way if it was halfway through the shift and I'm burning up, I would be able to slowly peel off the layers, because as much as I love to wear scarves, it just doesn't work sometimes. So that was one of the other things. I kind of touched on this yesterday, but I'm just going to say it again. Your attitude. Just watch your attitude. Everybody's going to be tired. Everybody's going to be stressed. Everybody is fighting their own battle, not only at work, but on their personal lives too. Holiday season is extremely stressful for some people, given their family or friend situation. It's just one of those things that you have family and friend stress, relationship stress, on top of the fact that you have all these different events going on, and just there's so much. You never really know, and I mean this pertains to anything. You never really know what someone else is going through. So just keep that in mind. Keep the attitude in check. Listen to your your employer or your employees. If you're in a management position, just try to be understanding and step back, because everybody's fighting their own battle, and it's a stressful environment. Everybody is just in a different place during the holiday season, whether it's good or bad. Some people absolutely love the holiday season and they're super energetic, and that's great. But some people, the holiday season really isn't their favorite thing, and just kind of take that in consideration. Obviously, don't let someone completely mistreat you and be miserable to you, but just try to be cheerful and happy and realize that you're all in this together and you can get through it. So just one of those things. I know I kind of already talked about it yesterday. And the last thing, like I said, I kind of already said, be helpful, be nice, just enjoy the moment, because it really can be fun if you have the right attitude to it. But the one thing I wanted to add on to it, and we already really talked about this in the very first day of classes, is if you're an anxious person, you're more likely to have those feelings come up and arise during these crazy weekends. You're going to be around a lot of people, a lot of stressed people, a lot of angry people, just a lot of people. So you're going to be around a lot of mixed energy. And although I don't really associate myself so much as an empath, a lot of people are. A lot of people feed from the energy around them, whether it's good or bad. And that's why I say it's always good to create that energy. But it's just one of those things, like I talked about in the very first class about stress and relaxation, is be prepared. So know that when you go into that atmosphere on the weekend, that you're going to be in a more stressful situation, you're going to be more anxious, and make sure that you have the tools mentally and physically to prepare yourself for that. So if you use oils in an anxious situation, make sure you have them accessible and easy to use. So when you're on the register at 3 a.m. on Black Friday and there's an irate woman screaming at you about something you have no control over, and she's just quite frankly being ridiculous, you don't start to have one of those panic attacks, and you don't start to feel anxious, and you're able to slowly calm yourself down and handle the situation in a proper way. So really just be prepared in that sense for any of those emotions that may come up, because there's mostly, even if you're not an anxious person, there's going to be times when you are in situations that can really upset you and really get to you. And I'm typically not a very anxious person. Oh my gosh, I can't talk today. But when I'm put in that atmosphere with like back-to-back people throughout a store, and I'm trying to manage, oh my gosh, I have a ridiculous amount of employees at American Eagle, like up to like 20 plus, I might have even been 30. I don't remember, on the sales floor at a time, and I have this lady screaming at me because she can't find a size, and I look over and the table literally just looks like a mountain of garbage because you can't even see where there used to be a table of clothes, and all of that alone can make anybody anxious. So it's important to have those things, those tools, whether they're physical tools like oils or mental tools, kind of prepared and know how to walk yourself down from those anxious feelings, and really know whether it's walking away and getting in the back room for 5 minutes and just breathing, or just breathing on the sales floor, just taking a second and closing your eyes and just relaxing and just being like, you know what? That table looking like a mess isn't the end of the world. People love to shop for messy tables. It's the most crazy thing ever. They're like, oh my God, it's messy. I must need something on there. And just realizing that you can't control everything. You can't control everybody. But that doesn't mean that you don't have a handle of that situation or yourself either. So I think that's just one of those important things to know, that when you're going into those weekends, you're not going to be in control. And in most times, and I'm someone that likes to be in control. I like to know what's happening and when it's happening and how it's happening. So it's one of those things that I always kind of had to release when I came into Black Friday. Like, okay, so pretty much the second I open that door, I lose control to some extent. Obviously, you still want to have general control of your store. But I'm saying, if the tables get messy, the tables get messy. As long as your people are ringing, your people are fed, your people are happy, the customers are getting what they need, you're rocking those sales goals, which you most likely will, as long as you prepared up until that moment, you're fine. And when you close those doors at whatever time you close, whether it's 8 p.m. or midnight sometimes, which is crazy, you have time. I know, I still think of, I don't remember which year it was, one of my years at American Eagle when I closed. I can't even describe what this store looked like. It was terrifying. I think I was still an assistant manager. And I mean, you couldn't even tell what those tables were. But now, like, look at this. Now, I mean, in the moment, I don't think even in the moment. I mean, I was stressed, obviously. I had to rebuild the store for the next morning, and I had a very small time limit and very new staff. But I laugh at it now. And I mean, I know we laughed at it at the time because it was just so outrageous and so ridiculous that you have to laugh at it, guys. You do. You always hear like you have to be able to have humor and laughter towards yourself. And retail is one of those things. You have to be able to laugh at yourself, laugh at the situations. God only knows you're going to laugh at the customers too. So, just go in with a positive attitude and have fun. It's really not that bad. Yes, it's a job. Yes, you have to be serious about it to be productive. But at the same time, you have to enjoy yourself. And if you really take all those things into account, you will. You really will. So what are some things that you can do to just plan for your week, I guess, and your weekends, and kind of figure out what you're doing? Kind of goes hand in hand with some of the things we've already talked about when it comes to like time management and things like that. Just looking at my notes really quick, make sure you're planning your week and your day. And when I say that, when you're planning your weekend and your day, I mean plan it all. I already talked about time blocking, but when it comes to Black Friday, especially if you're someone that has a huge Thanksgiving dinner the day before, make sure you're planning it. And if you're someone that shops Black Friday, I had a ton of employees that used to shop Black Friday before or after their shifts. More power to you. That's not my thing. But make sure that you're planning it. So plan your family time, plan your eating, plan your sleep. If you do not plan any other days in the holiday season but your Black Friday weekend and the weekend before Christmas, which I still did not look up the date, make sure you're planning those times. I can't stress that enough. You need to be able to have those in order to survive the weekends. So just one of those things, plan it. And another thing too, and I kind of touched on this in the stress and rest class, is if you're working crazy, I still have that craziness. What is this? If you're working crazy hours, especially with Thanksgiving, I still remember the first Thanksgiving that I opened at midnight when I was at American Eagle. Sleep when you can, guys. I remember, I think I got done with dinner at like, I don't know, maybe 5 o'clock that night, and I had to be to the store ready to receive my employees through the door at 11. They gave me 6 hours to get home, get to bed, sleep, get back up, change, drive a half hour, and open my store. So yeah, 6 hours, that's not much. Oh, excuse me. That's not much. So sleep when you can. Honestly, I'm pretty sure, and I don't remember exactly, I'm pretty sure I slept most of the day up until Thanksgiving dinner. And I was like, hey, Mom, I think it was at my aunt and uncle's house that year. I was like, hey, Mom, can you just call me when you guys are ready to eat? And I'll come and I'll hang out with you for like an hour or two and eat. And then I got to go back to bed. Okay, are we good? So yeah, there is some sacrifice that you make, but that is personally up to you what you do. And just make sure you get that sleep. So I think I slept before, ate dinner, came home, took a quick nap, got ready, and was ready to take on the day. And we killed it that day, if I remember. So just plan. But anyways, let's talk about some things that can help. Really? Some things that can really help support you when it comes to the natural supplements for your weekends. All right, so when it comes to the different natural items that you can use to help support your body, they're going to be very similar to yesterday's class. And I realized this and I was like, oh well. But I do have some new things too for you. So first and foremost, yesterday we talked about the Mito 2 Max. I cannot stress this enough. This is great for floor set, but it's also going to be really great for busy weekends and Black Friday weekend especially, because it's going to give you that natural energy to really get you through, but without giving you that crazy crash that you get when you're taking or drinking a lot of caffeine. So this is one of those great things. If you didn't see the class from yesterday, definitely go check it out. I talk a little more about this and also included a link with more information, which I'll still include in this too. But definitely check out the Mito 2 Max. It's a great natural supplement to take to just help with your energy, and especially like Black Friday. I'm thinking like if you have to be there at like midnight or something like that, take your Mito 2 Max. It's going to help you so much. The next thing that I want to talk about super briefly is the Deep Blue Rub. Look, I actually remembered it. So we talked about this yesterday, but I also wanted to talk about the Deep Blue Roller too today. So both of these have the Deep Blue Complex, I always say Deep Blue Complex, the Deep Blue blend in them. The lotion is awesome. I love this lotion. But if you're looking for something for floor set or Black Friday that you can just stick in your pocket, this is an awesome alternative because it's already, I love the smell of it. It's already in a roller, so it's easy to go. So if you already know that you have certain pain areas that you're going to have issues with, so maybe your ankles hurt often, or maybe your lower back, my lower back is always my worst, my lower back, or your shoulder, or anything like that, you kind of already know that's coming. This is a great option too. Actually have some extra oils in there. This is a great option for you, but You can kind of see I actually added 2 oils in there. Siberian fir and helichrysum are actually really good for bruising, and I have some pretty crazy bruises from my physical therapy. So if you wondered what's in here, it's the deep blue and those 2. But you can get just the deep blue. It has some amazing, powerful oils that'll really help not only your muscles, because I want to kind of distinguish between the 2 oils that I'm going to talk about right now, but not only your muscles, but this is really great for joint pain too. So anybody that experiences joint pain, this is another amazing, amazing option for you. So that's a lot of the issues that I'm having right now with my shoulder is not only muscle, it's more joint. So there's a muscular issue in my joint area, which is causing additional muscle issues. I'm a mess right now, but so that's really nice. And I know some people have issues with their knees, whether they've been injured or just hereditary. There's something going on with their knees. My mother loves her deep blue oil for that. So this is just one of those options that's really, really good for joints, but also good for muscles too. But I swear by the 2 of these. They are my go-tos for any discomfort when it comes to that. So, like I said, I did talk about that a little yesterday too, so that's probably even more than I needed to talk about. But I wanted to kind of clarify that oil to the next oil I'm going to be talking about, because a lot of people may think they're similar, and they are, but there's benefits to both. So like I said, that one's going to be muscular and joint, where the next oil I want to talk about is going to be the Aroma Touch. This one is actually considered the massage blend, but I like it for the muscular benefits. So this is just a really great oil to have on hand when it comes to overall muscle discomfort. So you think of a massage, and you usually get a massage when you're tense and have more like muscular issues, where the deep blue is more of like a pain localized area. I love this. So say you're on your feet for 8, 10, 12 hours on Black Friday weekend. This oil is something that's amazing to mix with like a little lotion or coconut oil and just put on like your legs, like all of your legs, because it's going to help those muscles and the tissues just relax overall. And it's a great option when you're using like a lotion to put a drop or 2 in and really just massage in. And hey, if you have someone to actually give you a massage, even better. But this is one of those oils that's going to be just an overall relaxation. And you could always use it with the deep blue too, which is another really fun option too. But let's see what's in here. There's cypress, peppermint, marjoram, basil, grapefruit, and lavender. So it's a really interesting combination because it's a lot different than the deep blue, which has like the wintergreen in it. But all of these oils are going to be amazing for your muscles and relaxation. So I think that's the main thing, is not only is it going to help your muscles when they're sore and tired, it's going to help with that relaxation piece, especially with that lavender in there. It's awesome. So this is one of the ones that I wanted to bring up today, was the Aroma Touch. The last oil I actually want to talk about is going to be interesting, because you're probably going to be like, and not many people would think of it, and you'd probably be like, oh, that's kind of random. So the last oil itself I want to talk about is the Holiday Joy. So you're probably thinking, oh, you're just going to say like diffuse this and it's going to smell like holiday. Actually, yes and no. So there's 2 reasons why I wanted to bring up this oil. So there's 3. 1, I love it. 2, it smells amazing, and it smells like holiday in a bottle. They talk about Christmas in a cup. Forget the Christmas in a cup. It smells like holiday in an oil bottle. It is amazing. If you're someone that's like super addicted to like Halloween, oh my goodness, holiday candles, this will be your gateway getting out of the toxic candles that you've burned. This is it. Love it. So you're going to have Siberian fir, wild orange, cinnamon, clove, cassia, which is similar to cinnamon, Douglas fir, nutmeg, and vanilla. It is Christmas in a bottle, guys. Not only is it Christmas in a bottle and will make you smell freaking amazing, It also has amazing immune properties too, because it has those oils like the wild orange, clove, nutmeg. All of those oils are really great for your immune system. So that's why I wanted to bring this up, because you can smell like walking Christmas holiday spirit every single time you walk by someone, and also be helping your immune system. You can't go wrong. So this is what I actually like to use in place of the On Guard oil this time of year. I love On Guard. I use it about 10 to 11 months out of the year, but I really truly love using the Holiday Joy around the Christmas time because it adds a little special, more fun kind of kick to the immune system without just being the On Guard, which I love On Guard, but I use it all the time. So this is just kind of a fun option. So what can you do with this? You can diffuse it. And I know before in one of the other classes I talked about diffusing and how it doesn't have to be something fancy. And honestly, the other day when I was at work, this is one of my new bracelets that I love from Doterra. It's kind of hard to see in this, but there's little lava rocks there. I honestly just put a drop right on the lava rocks. Actually, you can still smell it on there. Oh, that's awesome. That was like 2 days ago. But you can just put like a drop on a lava rock, any natural surface. So you can put it on like a wood surface. Like sometimes I have like little popsicle sticks that I'll put a drop on. So yeah, you can do that. You can actually just use it in that way. Or if you have a diffuser, that's even better. Just diffuse it like crazy. It's going to be really uplifting too with the wild orange and the cinnamon and clove. Those are very like awakening and uplifting oils. So if you diffuse that in your back room on a busy weekend, you're going to feel like Christmas, you're going to smell like Christmas, and you're going to also be helping your immune system. So I love, love, love this oil because it's awesome. And the great thing is it actually only comes in the 15 milliliter bottle, which means you're getting around 250 drops of oil in this little bottle. To diffuse, you really only need, I do more than I even need to, but I do anywhere from like 5 to 10 drops every single time. So that's a lot. That's really a lot. And usually a diffuser, like my diffuser, goes about 10 hours. So yeah, you think about that. I can't even do the math. It's too tight. But you get your money's worth with it, and you can use it as a personal fragrance or anything like that. So since I'm winging around, I guess we'll talk about the next one. The very last thing that I would suggest having on you, I know I was just talking about the On Guard oil, but this is the On Guard hand sanitizing mist. Love this thing. I swear by it. I don't even know how many I have at this point. I have one at my desk at work. I have one in my car. I have one in my purse. I feel like I have more than that. They're all over. They're everywhere in my life. Super amazing, super simple, super easy to use, helps fight all those nasty, crazy things that are coming around. And it smells great too. It smells like Christmas in a bottle. It's funny because I'm always using this at my desk, and my boss is like, "What is that smell? It smells so amazing." And I'm like, "It's my hand sanitizing mist. That's it. That's literally it." So this is great because kind of like I was talking about the Holiday Joy, this will help your immune system so much. People are gross. The things that they do with their hands, with their money, God, places I have seen people pull out money is terrifying, guys. Just terrifying. I don't miss that at all, although it completely destroyed me because to this day, I hate using cash because I have no idea where that money's been. But use this. This is super awesome. It smells great. You could even use it like if you're at a register, just set it next to your register. I know, who was it? Oh, it was one of my assistants, Joss. She would always have like hand sanitizer like right at the register, and she would always be using it. So have this right at the register. Have this, you can even put it like in your pocket if you're on the sales floor. Whatever you want to do, you can definitely just do that, and it's super easy to use, and it smells great. Like, guys, like that. And too bad you can't smell it through the internet because it smells awesome. But that would be one of the other suggestions that I would have, is to have that on you in one way, shape, or another, to just help support yourself. Because only thing worse than all the craziness that goes along the holidays and the anxious feelings and the people and just, oh, there's so much going on, is if you get sick in the middle of all of this craziness. And if you don't take care of yourself, if you're not helping with your stress, if you're not relaxing, if you're not eating right, if you're not doing all the things that I've been talking about this entire week, and you're not helping support your immune system and you get sick, you are going to make this holiday season even harder on yourself. And the whole point of this entire week, if you are on this call, is that you're trying to make it easier for yourself. So support your body, support yourself, your physical and your mental health, and you will get through it. You truly, truly will. And I know that's so hard sometimes to even imagine, because right now you haven't gotten into holiday season. You're like, oh, this is so easy. I don't know why she's telling me all this. I'm just gonna stand at the register. It's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna get hard, and probably 2 weeks or so after Thanksgiving, you're gonna be like, what did I get myself into? Why did I decide to do this again this year? Or why did I decide to try this? It's not that bad. It really isn't, guys. And retail is fun and it's exciting, and this time of year is exciting. And the one thing that I will say, like I just said, that I will want you to take away from this entire week is just enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself and take care of yourself, and you will be perfectly fine throughout this holiday season. So that's it, guys. That's it. I know I talked your ear off today, but it is the last video of this series, so I really wanted to make sure that I got everything in. But yeah, like all the other classes, if you have any additional questions, want to know anything else about any of the things I went over, or more detail about what I was talking about when it comes to preparing and to-do lists, definitely just shoot me a message. Of course, email or just on social media. I'm always available too. I'd be more than happy to answer any of those things. In today's email, you're going to get all the additional information about all the things that I talked about, and a few other things too when it comes to to-do list. And then you're also going to get 2 little bonus emails with some fun little things that I have going on, including the extra bonus email about when you decide to have a little too much fun. So what do I mean by that? I told you I was done, but I'm not. So I don't think I'm going to be doing a video. Maybe I will. We'll see. Maybe I'll pop on and do a video. I'm going to be talking about a detox, and not in a detox like, oh, you need to do a cleanse and all that. No, we don't have time for that. Like I talked about before, it's holiday season. We can't be starting anything crazy and new. What I'm talking about is Thanksgiving dinner. You drink just a couple glasses of wine, and then you have to open up the store for Black Friday. I'm talking about on the weekend, all your friends are in town. Oh my gosh, it's awesome. You decide to go out, and then you have to open at 8 a.m. I'm talking about maybe you just got done with a crazy shift. People were nuts. You weren't able to control those anxious feelings, and all you want to do is you want to go home and you want to have a couple of beers. And then you have to open in the morning. Or maybe you don't even have to open in the morning. You're a mid-shift and you're that hungover that it still sucks. We're going to talk about that in my extra class. I have a protocol that has been tried and true for so many of the members in our oily community that it's too good not to share with you guys. So many of them went a little too hard this summer and shared this protocol, and because of that, they're like, listen, you do this and you're going to be fine, because there is nothing worse than when you decide to overindulge yourself by a little bit, and then you realize when you wake up and everything's dry and the room's spinning and you kind of hate life, that you have to go and deal with the general public and stock shelves and fold clothes. Like, ugh, that is the worst. Even if you're surrounded by the most amazing managers and the energy and the feel in the store is amazing, no one wants to go to work super hungover. So we're going to cover that. That's going to be your extra bonus. I don't even know if I said that yet. But yes, one of the bonus days is going to be all about how to handle when you went a little too hard and had a little too much fun the night before. So keep an eye out for that. And then I'm going to also have an additional bonus email too about some fun little things that you can actually get this month. So definitely check that out. And yeah, like I said, guys, if you have any additional questions or anything like that, feel free to pop me a question or pop me a message, and I'd be more than happy to answer any of those for you. Other than that, if I don't do another video and I don't see you get on here, have fun, enjoy the holidays, and good luck.